Hello and welcome back to episode 8 of my Endwalker's playthrough. We are still in Fandaniel, we are over at the Great Works, and we need to get back to work. So I've gone and done the 2 Aetherite quests that we had available. I've also killed the other hunt target that's on the map, and I have gathered an Aether current from here, and there's actually one over here. So, let's crack on. Little does Nidhana know that she is about to send you on another errand. If you'll excuse me, I shall return to my work on the talisman. Ah, you're both back. Excellent. I have a message for you, Mistress Nidhana. It would seem the stores of Giant's Goal are running low. What? But when last I looked, there was still plenty. I suspect that was before Orianji told everyone about their tempering cure, and Estilian shared his knowledge of the dragons. Your peers have since been inspired to fashion a number of new talisman prototypes. I see. Well, if it leads to new possibilities, then far be it from me to complain. But we will need to replenish our stores. I should be happy to tend to that, if you like. As much as I appreciate the offer, my dear boy, I can't in good conscience send you out there alone while kidnappers are at large. Nathan, loath though I am to press another task upon you so soon, might I ask you fetch the Giant's Goal? In case you're not familiar, Giant's Goal is a type of ore found on the island. Owing to its hardness and ethereal conductivity, it has applications in many disciplines, alchemy not the least. The quarry where it's found, aptly named Giant's Gold Ground, isn't far away, so it shouldn't take you too much of your time. May we impose on you once more? Most certainly. Thank you. Upon arriving on the grounds, please seek out a man named Zainuhun. Zainuha. He will furnish you with the ore. At the very least, permit me to accompany you. I so happen to have an errand of my own that will take me to an outpost nearby. May we borrow a pair of hamis, Mistress Nidhana? By all means, don't try to be patient with them. Those that survived are still in training. I'll bring the hamis to the entrance. Meet me there when you are ready. I need to get some WD-40 on these headphones. If you ever hear this kind of noise, that is me moving my head around and the joints that connect the headphones together, or connect the headphones to the strap that goes over your head, squeaking. Because it's plastic on plastic. A little bit of WD-40 would fix it, but I haven't bothered to borrow any. Despite his tender years, Vahashin is thoughtful and dependable. It's easy to see why he was chosen to be the Satrap's attendant. I have a perfectly good chocobo. Why do you want to take me on this fancy new mount of yours? They're dodos. I have one of them as a mount already, I'm fairly sure. Here are Hamish. There's no I in there. Hamsa. Nathan, if the creature looks familiar, it's because they are a close kin to Eorzean dodos. Hassam have long been kept as livestock in Fandaniel, and many a hatchery may be found here. Alas, the largest of these was recently raised by monsters from the tower. On account of said hatchery being situated near the tower, the Radiant Host repurposed its remains as an outpost. That is where my errand takes me, and your own destination is but a stone's throw away. If you have no objections, let's first make for the outpost. We set forth at your word. Are you ready? Let us depart. You only need ride and relax. My birds and I will take the lead, and yours to follow. Let us be off. If you haven't ridden a dodo before, be warned that they have a wobbly gut, or a wobbly gait. A spectacular formation stretching out over the water is called Khadgar, a word which means sword. This sword, legend holds, was wielded by the Matsura against the Magar before it was cast down at conflict's end. To the left requires no introduction. It's the tower, as you can see. It straddles a small island. Almost there, although the main part of the hatchery is atop the cliff, the outpost itself is on the beach. This looks so weird with the skirt on this outfit. Is it technically a skirt? It's more of a robe, isn't it? And here we are, manned by the Radiant Host. This outpost is our first line of defense against the tower. I don't think we as a character have been this up close to a tower yet. Well, who should it be but young Vashana on an errand for the Satrap? I am. His Excellence bade me came collect your report. He also wished to express his heartfelt gratitude to the brave men and women of the Radiant Host for their unflagging dedication. We simply do our duty, but we are honoured to receive His Excellency's regards. And yet, for his boundless benevolence, his treatment of one so young could be regarded as callous. Though we have enjoyed relative peace and calm these past few days, this remains the front line of battle, no place for a child. Your predecessor, too, often travelled alone. It's been, 2 years now since you took over? I wonder how the fellow is faring. Like those before him, he went on to represent the Satrap in foreign lands. Wherever he may be, I am certain he is well. As for myself, I assure you that all I do of my own volition, and gladly. I pray you do not think ill of His Excellency. Certainly not, lad. Whatever happens, my faith in Satrap is unwavering, but I still worry for you. We would be overcome with sadness if something were to befall you. For you, as a little brother to us all, for you are a little brother to us all. Take care, do you hear? I will, Naberdeen. Thank you. And who might this be? Not Hanish, by the looks of him. Permit me to introduce Nathan Skidmore of the Eorzean contingency, come to assist in the making of a talisman. From Eorzea, you say? Towers have appeared over there too, yes? Tell me, what's the situation like? May I suggest that you exchange information with our soldier? Both parties would stand to learn something valuable, I believe. An excellent idea. Given the unprecedented nature of the threat, some of ours are understandably anxious. We would be glad for any tidings you can share. You two, bring Vashina, close enough, the latest report, and answer any questions he may have. Yep. Ah, I've heard about you, the visitor from Eorzea. Is there anything you can tell us about the Tlofroi? We know that they are the ones behind the towers, but that they've declared war on the whole world. But why are they doing this? What is it they want? This we don't understand. They... what? They want to die? And take everyone with them? What madness is this? Well, you can bet we won't let those bastards have their way. We'll fight them with everything we have, like our Eorzean Far Eastern brothers. You wish to know about the tower? To be honest, we know little and less about it ourselves. This Tower of Zot, as the folk have taken to call it, suddenly appeared where it did on the island of Nonair. We're safe from its influence at this distance, but go too far into the water and you'll expose yourself to the corrupting ether. You're a foreigner, aren't you? How are they dealing with a tower in your homeland? Our struggles are not unique, then our hope still lies with the talismans. We must keep the monsters contained until they're ready. It occurs to me I have yet to properly introduce our company. We are the Radiant Host, a military order under the Satrap's command. Our duty is to preserve the peace of the land, be it patrolling the streets or dealing with heretofore unknown threats such as now. We train hard and admit only capable warriors to our ranks. Even so, we're struggling to contend with the fiends in the tower. Though we succeeded in striking them down on 2 occasions that they came in force, we have paid a heavy price. What are the towers in Eorzea? Do they likewise spew monsters? It's much the same everywhere, with every nation struggling. We cannot expect calls for the outside to be answered. Finished speaking with the soldiers, have you? I hope it was enlightening for you as it was for them. As a neutral nation trading hub, Radz-at-Han ordinarily receives a steady stream of news from abroad. Alas, this stream dried up when the trading vessels stopped coming in. Amidst the dearth there. I'm not sure what that word is. It's dearth of information? But doesn't that mean the opposite? Everyone will be grateful for your account. But come, you had best see to your original errand, as mine will keep me here a while longer. However, I'm afraid I cannot guide you the rest of the way. Worry not, the path is straightforward. You need but follow the road east, upon Hassan. You will arrive before you know it. Brief though it was, I enjoyed our time together. Till we meet again. So let us head out. There's one up there, but it wants me to go talk to... You can wait. Is it at the very top? The hatchery is up at the very top. We'll get it on the way back. We must not unmount, even if we see an aether current. We have arrived. No sooner have you arrived at your destination than the hammer dashed off. Aye, this is indeed Giant Skull's ground. I am Zenuha. This is there is there something you require? Giant skulls for the alchemist, you say? But of course they shall have it. They labour tirelessly to deal with the tower. 'Tis the least we can do to provide them with the materials they need. Okay. Here you are, a sack of the purest giant skull. We always set some aside for our alchemist friends. When you deliver it, let the good folks at the Great Work know that we're grateful for their efforts. If they need more, they need but ask. Okay, how done is that? Doesn't look like anybody's doing that. We'll save that for our own time. Let us head over to this Aether Current. I double backed because I realised there was one over here. Now let's go get the one near the hatchery. I think I'm going to have to take a swim. I can't jump that, can I? Yep, it's where I thought it was, inside the building. Okay, the next one is east, so let's just teleport back. Welcome back, Nathan. Dare I hope you have the giant skull? Oh my, such fine specimens. Thank you for bringing these. We now have everything we need to make our next prototype. One that should be capable of passing our most rigorous tests. When it's ready, it will be time for the true test, so please take your ease while you can. Please be voiced.
I see our taskmasters have allowed you a moment's respite as well. You have to hand it to these alchemists. They are determined to see this endeavor of theirs succeed. I've never been one for blind optimism, but I sincerely get the sense they're close to a breakthrough.
They had better be, or all this effort was for naught.
The peoples of Eorzea, of the Far East, of Thavner, children of this star united in common cause against a dire threat. Yet ere they succumbed to suicidal madness, were not the Telophoroi born of her body as were we? They who cling to life and the promise of the morrow's dawn, against they who desire death and an ending of their own orchestration. The victors of this war alone will hold the right to answer the question of existence, of its meaning, and its worth.
Poetic and ominous to a fault. That said, if it's an existential debate in nature, then our arguments might not be as persuasive as you'd think. Fandaniel wants to die and take everyone with him in an orgy of pain and suffering. An utterly vile and unforgivable idea. And yet, when spat upon by fate and wailing in the deepest pit of despair, who among us can say they have not entertained similar thoughts? There are nights black as pitch, bereft of hope, and no words of comfort can reach you. And it's all you can do to grit your teeth and choke back the bile.
The more you see and suffer life's injustices, the more difficult they become to bear. Vengeance is nurtured in similar soil. Though your anger has a broader focus, the sentiment is much the same. A fervent desire to destroy others, to see them drown in torment, as you have.
That about sums it up. The will to endure is not always as strong as the urge to burn it all down and salt the earth. Survival be damned. It's a struggle, often close and brutal.
Indeed. Well, I, for one, shall pray survival proveth more appealing in the end.
As will I. Besides, our chances are much improved when we've the company of others committed to the cause of life. Our vengeful dragoon here is proof of that.
Fandaniel made no attempt to hide? He just walks away?
What is it? What did you see? Fandaniel, are you sure? If he knows we've been working on a countermeasure.
It holds. The vessel holds! This is the one!
At long last! Look! We have finally created a talisman strong enough to withstand our experiments! We've named it a warding scale for the time being. With this in your possession, your soul should be completely shielded from corruptive ether.
Afforded such protection, any one of us may approach the towers without fear. Thou hast mine admiration. 'Tis an invention of historical significance.
I thank you for your kind words. But I would prefer you keep them unsaid until we test the talisman's efficacy in the field. It is for the next stage of our plan that we summoned you in the first place, to accompany me to the Tower of Zot. Should the scale prove effective, as I very much hope it will, then you'll have little to do. But should the effect be weaker than anticipated, I must ask that you restrain me, or knock me senseless.
Oh, you don't need to ask. Why the hell would somebody say that? Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Come on.
Either way, we are fortunate to have you with us.
Nidana, are you certain you wish to do this?
If others are to trust our creations, then we must have faith in them first. And as the senior researcher, it falls to me to lead by example. But should I fail to return, then learn what you can from this attempt and apply it to the next. Our work must continue. Is that clear?
We'll keep an eye on the place while you're away. Assuming Fandaniel is lurking about, there's no telling what mischief he has in mind for us, or you. Be on your guard.
Shall we be on our way? I'll have one of the soldiers at the hatchery prepare us a boat, and we can set out from the northern shore. I'll see you there.
We running all the way back? Yep, we are running all the way back. So, I'll be there in a minute. Here we are. This is a rather finer boat than I was expecting. Or than I expected, but I won't complain. All that remains is to board and be on our way. Oh, and if I should become corrupted, do not stay your hand. Of course, I pray it doesn't come to that, but you must protect yourself. Other alchemists can fulfill my role, but you and your blessing are one of the kind, and perhaps our only hope for toppling this tower. For all our sake, do not hesitate to do what you must, or what must be done, whatever that may be. Well, the longer I draw this out, the more nervous I become. Let's be off.
We should soon cross the threshold of the tower's influence. Any moment now. It's working! And you are still yourself? Then I'd like to see how it fares closer to the tower if we could. So far, so good. The scale's protection appears to be holding. If we can just make it to the tower's entrance. A few more steps. Praise be to the sisters, we made it! And the scale has proven itself to be everything we hoped it would be.
Fandaniel's going to destroy the scale, isn't he?
Now we can focus on production. Once we've equipped and returned with an entire survey team, this menace will soon give up its secrets. What? Ah!
Not quite what I was expecting. Towers, I suppose the tower's semi-automated. It's just collecting another body for the wall. Nope, there's Fandaniel.
Oh, let me go! Oh, let me go! Oh!
Oh, do calm down. You'll only hurt yourself thrashing about like that.
Stop! Oh, you can't do this! Please!
A little late for heroics, I'm afraid. The similarities are striking. My! Such hostility! Never before has my artistry so displeased. My patrons of old would have positively squealed in delight, though, between you and me, I find gushing praise exhausting.
Patrons of old?
Allow me to tell you a story. Surely you've yet to hear the one about Fandaniel, the sundered Ascian. I inherited the position and the soul of the Fandaniel who sat on the convocation in the time of the final days, theoretically speaking. Practically speaking, that fact is of no consequence. I was born and lived as, well, me. Eventually, I was recruited into the Ascians and imbued with the former Fandaniel's knowledge and memories, but I never felt that they were truly a part of who I am. How to explain? Perhaps if I told you who I was before my Ascian embrace, although that chapter too is a past I've long since discarded. I have it on good authority you've poked your nose into an Allegan ruin or two. Yes? Then I expect you've heard of me. The old me.
At your service.
What? How?
Imagine a nation of unbridled prosperity. Every need met. Day after day of unbroken, unshakable peace. Existence. Fulfilled. And ripe for decay.
You are a genius without peer, Amon. However do you conceive of such delightful experiments?
Wait, I was thinking of the wrong one. Armon is the second to last boss of the Crystal Tower. He's the wizard guy. Well, the one with the slimy experiments and all that stuff. My mind attached the word Armon to the king, but that's not correct, or the emperor.
That fool was beside himself with panic when he awoke with the head of a bull. Even his cries for help emerged as so much guttural lowing. Oh, the memory of it. My poor sides. My friends and I were so consumed by laughter we struggled to breathe.
No more than entertainment for bored wastrels ignorant of its worth. My all-consuming work. But it was not their only indulgence. For they were ever hungry for stimulation. Slaves to the slightest hint, and amusement was afoot. Our nation was ailing, but I would see the poison purged. I resurrected a legend, our first and greatest emperor. And just as I had planned, he set our wayward empire back on the path of conquest. An inexhaustible ambition carried us onwards. Always onwards. Yet, he who delivered to us such glory was not to be satisfied.
Heed me, Amon.
No matter how vast one's empire, or full one's treasure vault, all is rendered meaningless by death. In the end, all is lost.
You know as well as I that the Emperor stands to lose this war, and so I have come to claim you. For while your methods leave something to be desired, we cannot deny the results of your work. And as fortune would have it, the seat of Fandaniel, your rightful seat, lies vacant and waiting. Take your place amongst your peers, rather than die a pointless death amidst the ashes of your doomed nation. Send one of your clones to the Crystal Tower that you might see for yourself. See what lies ahead.
The fall of the Empire affirmed the truth. Majestic and tragic, as the Emperor foresaw. Scheme as you like, build as you will, nothing endures. What is life but a brief jaunt ending in emptiness?
And he's gone. But what are we going to...
So easily distracted. Why, I almost left without saying farewell. As for your friend, you needn't worry. These pawns are far more useful to me alive as fuel for the primals. If you attempt to pull them free, they will die. So, enjoy tackling that conundrum with your comrades. We shall meet again! Not in one of these minor spires, oh no. But somewhere more suitably grandiose. Your favorite playmate is ever so eager to see.
Oh, she successfully proved that the talisman works. Ah, you are returned, but where is Mistress Nadhana? Or Nidhana? Mansura, preserve. Just when we succeed in making the talisman? I must report this at once. Meanwhile, please return to the great work. Well, damn. Something's gone awry, hasn't it? What happened? So it was Fandaniel after all. Damn that bastard. I'm sure you wanted to do more, but you were right to return here first. We must tread warily, at least we endanger Nidhana and the other captives. Ooh. We got our new ability. I know I'm probably going to be cutting about 5 minutes out of this episode already, so we may have enough time for one more. Let's keep going. Thancred is wearing a grim expression. First, we must inform everyone of the situation, Nidhana's colleagues included. I'll call them together for a gathering, but I think it would be best if you were the one to explain. Oh, Nidhana. Can you answer me this? Though Nidhana is trapped in the tower, she's still alive, yes? As near as I can tell. Then we must make warding scales, as many as we can. The prototype works perfectly. This Nidhana proved at peril to her. So let's make more scales, and she and all of those who have been taken might be saved. Aye, as alchemists, this is how we help win the fight. My friends, the Satrap has been made aware of the tragedy. He offers his heartfelt condolences and reiterates his pledge to provide you with all that you require. To that end, he bade me give you this link pearl, that he might personally discuss the production of the warding scales with you. And for our Eorzean visitors, I bear an invitation. In her report, Mistress Nidhana noted your vital contribution to the talisman's creation. This bat came to the Satrap's attention, and in recognition of your deeds, he wishes to meet you. In addition to thanking you in person, he would also discuss further avenues of collaboration. And so, if it is agreeable, will you not accompany me to Radz-at-Han for an audience with His Excellency? We should be honoured, of course. Closer cooperation between our lands can only benefit us all. Then it is settled. Please come to the gates, east of Giant Skull's ground, and I will show you into the city. And we have another run that's going to take us a while. So let's skip a bunch of this. Here we are. When I last visited, the city was brimming with life. I expect the tower has dampened the mood somewhat. Be it here or in Eorzea, we all share the desire to deliver the captives. Thus united, I pray that we may join in common cause with the Satrap. Of the Satrap, I only know the common tidbits. That though the position is hereditary, it is not considered a sovereignty, and that despite possessing considerable authority, he wields it sparingly. Given the esteem in which the locals hold him, however, it's safe to assume he's good at his job. We could do far worse for an ally. All present, then let us proceed. Owing to the threat of the tower, the city is currently in a state of high alert, and strict restrictions are in place for entry. Though you have been granted special permission, I ask that you remain close to me at all times.
A vast rock squats upon Fandaniel, and to its stony surface clings the city of Radz-at-Han. Ye who enter here are subject to the scrutiny of gods, the gate's most watchful eye. The orb which beholdeth the truth of all things. Pass beneath its hot and piercing gaze, bearing down like a second midday sun. The fragrant haze, a mixture of sweet incense and acrid smoke. The cries of merchants mingled here with lively melodies accented by dancers' feet. Travelers seduced by vivid sound and colors were once swallowed up by patchwork streets. But no such scenes to savor now. To what somber present does that divine eye bear witness?
Here we are, Megaduta. It seems a shame to bring you here directly. Under normal circumstances, it would have been my pleasure to show you the sights.
And it would have been our pleasure to see them. Alas, it seems our tour of the city will have to wait.
I'm afraid so. Come, we should head inside. Your Excellency, may I present our honored visitors?
Ah, splendid. Most splendid. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Errand, Satrap of Radz-at-Han. Our alchemists tell me your assistance was invaluable in the creation of the warding scale. Such deeds ought to be recognized in person. Thus did I have young Varshan convey you here forthwith. On behalf of my people, may I express to you our sincere gratitude.
Let's go with the bottom one. Let's not be quite so direct. Not everything went to plan.
I assume you speak of Nadana. A regrettable incident indeed. Her colleagues insist that we honor her wishes and trust in the talisman, that it will be instrumental in saving Nadana and the others. I am eager to hear your opinion on the matter, so let us not stand on ceremony. Come, sit.
I think not. This charade has gone on long enough. Show yourself.
Forgive me, but were you expecting musicians, perhaps? There are no performers waiting in the wings at present, but arrangements could be made if you'd prefer.
The dragon. Isn't it? You are speaking on behalf of the dragon, and it is actually the dragon. I forget the name, but we know who it is. That is the Satrap. Frida.
He hath the right of it. The time for artifice is past. Raise the curtain.
As you wish.
You travel as assistants to the students of Valdesian, but you are known to me. Even here have we heard of the scions of the Seventh Dawn. and for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode.
Vritra, of the first brood, sibling to Hraesvelgr and Nidhogg.
Aye, mine elder brothers, of Midgard's Sorma's spawn. I was last to hatch.
Well, isn't this a surprise? We were told Radz-at-Han had an alliance with a dragon. Not that a great worm sat in the Satrap's own hall.
A necessary subterfuge, as the true tale of our nation history illustrates most effectively. In the beginning, the rock upon which our city is built was home to Vitra, and Vitra alone. In time, the ancestors of the Matanga came to the island and established a foothold. But never did they dare disturb the worm's lair. Next to arrive with the Aura, adopting the example of their Akasodra allies, they too treated Vitra with reverence and respect. And for many years, an understanding between our forefathers and the Great Worm endured. Until marauding heroes from the mainland came, threatening to shatter our peace and tranquility. When it seemed all would be drowned in blood, Vitra himself came forth and quelled the rising conflict. A peaceful accord was reached, and oaths sworn in Vitra's name. Thus began the dragon's governance of the fledgling state, which was to grow into Radz-at-Han.
But if Vitra is still here, then your position as Satrap is just...
A charade, yes. And one which my family has performed faithfully for generations.
Many envy the great worms their power. Were it known that I ruled here, then the fires of war would burn without end. I would not be the flame which consumeth my people. Those few who join me in laying our country's foundations were, perforce, sworn to secrecy.
Your eye. It was taken.
"'Tis here, buried within a semblance of flesh. The body before thee is but a simulacrum, constructed by the finest artisans of Radz-at-Han. With mine eye nestled within, it doth serve as an inconspicuous vessel for my will."
That would explain why I felt the presence of a dragon upon our first meeting.
I am woven with words fashioned to deceive such arcane senses. Though 'twas short-lived, it seemeth thy fusion with my brother hath left thee much altered, Estinian warm-blood. From the very first, we sensed the nature of one another, yet did neither one of us bare his fangs. That is all I need know of thee for now.
With my secret thus revealed, I have for you a proposal. Not as a worm of the first brood, but as the ruler of Radz-at-Han. With all haste must we take in hand the finished talismans and breach this foul spire. Thence, should it lay within our power, dispel its wicked influence. Yet even with the assurance of the warding scales, the narrow confines of the tower doth limit the size of our force.
And thus denied strength in numbers, thou must choose thy soldiers with care.
Just so. Yet though our radiant host is formidable, I see a sure path before me.
He's talking about me.
Thou and thy comrades have contended with a multitude of primal beings. Most recently, thou didst cast down false gods in Padalthan and Cartanau, I am told. 'Tis upon that strength I would call. The Scions have proven themselves the most capable, and I ask that you serve as the tip of our spear. Talismans would, of course, be provided for each of thy companions. And should you agree to this undertaking, more will be provided to make use of as you see fit.
There's no denying it's a dangerous proposition, but the rewards may far outweigh the risk. Just think of what we might accomplish if we could equip all our allies with warding scales. I worry, however, that even the 4 of us may be too few for what you have in mind. Might we regroup with our friends first to discuss the matter?
'Tis no trifling task that I have laid before you. Go. Steel your hearts and hone your plans. Such time as you require shall be spent in crafting your protective charms.
It seems a quick trip back to Charlia is in order.
Wilt thou not lend thine aid?
Whether your request be made as a great worm or the ruler of Radz-at-Han, I see no reason to refuse, nor will I.
In other words, you don't need to ask him twice. You don't need to ask him twice. Ask him once. Done. Let's get to work. I should have spoken to Estinian first. Damn it. That meeting took a rather unexpected turn, but now we have a clear objective ahead of us. Let us rejoin our comrades in Charlia and muster a suitable crew for our foray into the Tower of Zot. Oh, and if you haven't done so already, make sure you attune to the Aetheryte here before departing. Unless, of course, you enjoy violent nausea. Back we go. I called it. I had a feeling this was going to be the last quest that would put us back in Charlia, which is why I wanted to do it. Because this is the perfect bookmark for an episode. I just want to check something. It's not working. Why is this not working? Always used for costs above gil allowance. Did I buy the wrong thing? Twin ad A5. That's what did you say? Gil allowance 500. Oh. Ah, shit. No, this is the wrong kind of Aetheryte ticket. Fuck. Okay, I'll be right back. Actually, no, it's not going to take me any time at all to teleport back over there. But yeah, we bought the wrong thing. Never mind, I'll have to figure out what it is. I went through all of the items in there. This was the only Aetheryte ticket I could see. Okay, let's get over to the annex. These tickets were expensive as well, and now they're basically useless. Let's actually have a word with Fandaniel here. The conflict between Nidhogg and I is in the past. I thought they were brothers. Although they were brothers, it has no bearing on my view of Vitra. Above all else, he is a leader of men, not an enemy. He would hardly dedicate his life to this endeavour if he bore our kind any ill will. Vitra and his alchemists have prepared for us to foray into the tower. What we may accomplish within its twisted halls remaineth to be seen. The Arcusodra languish in Telotheroi chains to forewarn us of its nature, or the nature of our foe. 'Tis the gods of Fandaniel who will be summoned to thwart us. Just as I was getting used to balmy Thavnia, we're back in chilly Shalia. Take care not to catch your death, huh? We need you for the battles to come. Now then, everyone appears to be here, so let's take up stock of all the developments and the discoveries. And we will do that tomorrow. Let's get everyone in shot, because why not? So, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the show, and hopefully I will see you next time. Cheerio.